Okay, so just a quick explanation on your thermocouples. So the way a thermocouple works, you've got two, they're basically both resistance wires. They're a type of resistance wire, which is the same as what an element wire is, but it's not element wire. So it's a specific resistance wire that is made for thermocouples. And your red side, which is in fact your red side is a negative side, and which is goes against convention. So usually red is always positive, but with thermocouples, red is a negative side. And the red side is negative, which is a nickel aluminium wire. The other side, which is your positive, is nickel chromium. So with K-type thermocouples, which again you can see are compensating wire, on a K-type thermocouple, your wire is always going to be red and yellow. Red we put to the red, yellow we put to the yellow side. So red is your negative and yellow is your positive. So what happens is these two wires on the end of it, on the tip, you can see the tip is melted together. So it's not a weld. The two wires actually melted together, and it creates a potential difference in amps and in resistance and in volts, millivolts on the end here, and that is what is red. So when it's in your kiln, it's reading just on the edge here the potential difference between the one wire and the other wire. And so as long as that has got a nice join there, you're 100%. Just while we're on this, when it is in the kiln, you basically want just one bead sticking out, anything from 20 to let's say 30 millimeters sticking into your kiln. I've seen it where you've got this whole thing sticking out. What happens is it just bends and warps, and there's no point to it. So you just want the end of it sticking out. So if we're looking at changing one of these, the reasons for changing, obviously not working, what you'll find is that one of the wires will work as an anode and the other will work as a cathode, which means that one wears more than what the other one does. So, and I can't remember which is which, but so what will happen is you do get wearing on one of the wires. It gets thinner and thinner, and eventually it gets to a point where it's still touching, but as your kiln heats up, it'll move apart and you'll start getting errors on the thermocouple. So this is where we need to change a thermocouple. Your controller will always tell you. If you don't have one of our controllers and it's another controller, you will start noticing that your temperature will be dropping, but the heating element is on. Or so on our controller, it'll actually give you an error. So the controller stops. But if you have a different controller that maybe doesn't give an error and doesn't recognize it, you will know because your contactor is in. It's showing you that it's trying to heat, but nothing's actually happening, and the temperature will be dropping or going erratic. And so this just gets removed out of the back of the kiln, replaced with another one, and then all you do is your thermocouple wire, red to red, yellow to yellow. On the board itself, if you come across, and you will see that we have these three connectors, well, a connector block with three in it. One is your ground, and then you've got a positive and a negative. And so if you were using compensating cable to go directly in here, again, your red is your negative, so it would go into your negative side, and your positive is the yellow, and would go in the positive side. If we have a look at our controllers work on a 5-core cable, and our 5-core cable, which you can see from here, yellow and green is your positive. So yellow and green is the same as our yellow, so yellow to yellow, and then black is now your negative, which would make sort of more sense. So that's how we wire in our 5-core cable. And that's pretty much all there is to changing a thermocouple. Put a new thermocouple in and make sure that you're connecting everything like to like. If you haven't done it correctly, your controller will always show you that something is not wrong. So when you put your controller on, you will see that your temperature will go to, minus 50, 20, 30, 40. It jumps everywhere. It says there's a thermocouple issue. Or you'll actually get an error. And again, if you look up on your errors, you'll see thermocouple. And it won't connect. So that's pretty much thermocouples.